In the early 1980s, two researchers presented a set of findings that dismantled the established medical model for chronic ulcers, proving the illness was the work of bacteria swarming inside the human stomach. For decades, gastroenterologists believed peptic ulcers, painful sores in the lining of the stomach or small intestine, were caused by excess stomach acid. This acid production was attributed to lifestyle factors, specifically high-stress environments and poor dietary habits. This model rested on a central biological assumption: the human stomach is too acidic to support life. Medical science held that no bacteria could survive long-term in such a corrosive environment. Because the medical community blamed the acid itself, they focused on managing symptoms with antacids. This left patients in a lifelong cycle of pain and temporary relief, with no way to prevent the ulcers from returning. In 1979, pathologist human gastric tissue biopsies when he observed curved, spiral-shaped bacteria. These bacteria were physically attached to the stomach lining, positioned directly adjacent to areas of inflamed, damaged tissue. Finding thriving organisms in an environment previously considered sterile demanded an explanation. It launched a rigorous scientific pursuit to determine the specific role these bacteria played in gastric disease. To investigate further, Warren began collaborating with a clinical researcher named Barry Marshall. This chart shows the results of their 1984 study of 100 endoscopy patients. The data reveals a consistent correlation. Nearly every patient with active chronic gastritis or duodenal and gastric ulcers also tested positive for these bacteria. Marshall and Warren proposed that the bacteria were the causative factor behind the ulcers. However, they knew that a statistical association alone is not biological proof of causation. To move forward, they had to isolate and grow the bacteria in a lab. They failed for months. Standard clinical protocol required technicians to discard culture plates after 48 hours to prevent contamination. But after 2 days, the plates always appeared empty. During the 1982 Easter weekend, a set of culture plates was left incubating in the laboratory for 5 consecutive days while the staff was away. When the researchers returned, they found thriving, transparent colonies. The organisms simply required a longer growth period than the standard flora usually found in the human throat or gut. Successfully culturing the bacteria confirmed they were living organisms that could be isolated and studied. This crossed the first major hurdle in challenging the established medical model. The next step was fulfilling Koch's postulates, the scientific requirement to infect a healthy host and reproduce the disease to prove the bacteria were the cause. In 1984, Barry Marshall decided to act as his own test subject. He deliberately drank a liquid broth containing a heavy dose of the cultured bacterial strain. Within days, he developed a mild vomiting illness. A subsequent biopsy of his stomach lining proved that his previously healthy tissue had developed acute gastritis. This result provided specific evidence. The bacteria could colonize a human stomach and cause inflammation. However, the experiment did not produce a full peptic ulcer during that 2-week period. Despite that limit, the self-experiment provided the biological proof of concept needed to justify larger, long-term trials focused on eradicating the bacteria in chronic patients. The medical consensus shifted slowly over several years as more epidemiological data and patient trials were published. These trials showed a clear pattern. While acid-suppressing drugs could temporarily close an ulcer, the sore would return as long as the underlying bacterial infection remained. This diagram shows our current medical understanding. Most peptic ulcers are now attributed to 2 primary causes: an infection of H. pylori, or frequent use of NSAID pain relievers like aspirin and ibuprofen. Due to antibiotic resistance, treating the infection requires a strict regimen of multiple antibiotics combined with a proton pump inhibitor to lower stomach acid during healing. In 2005, Barry Marshall and Robin Warren were jointly awarded the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for their discovery. Their work reclassified a chronic, mysterious digestive disease as a curable infection, moving the focus of treatment from lifelong management to a permanent cure. By following the evidence instead of the established model, they provided a clinical solution that has brought permanent relief to millions of patients worldwide.